What's going on, people? What is going on? You are now tuning in to the Heavy Hitters. Let's get it. Hey, 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 hey. You already know how we starting off like this. What's going on, people? What is going on? This your man, 6-Man K Styles, and welcome to your weekly trio of minds, Heavy Hitters, ATL. Like I said, I am 6-Man K Styles. And to my stage left, we got Senator Palpatine over here with the hood down. Mad Mike Sports. And through all that, you need a minister to keep everything smooth sailing. If you don't know who this is, you already know who this is. Mr. Q. Talk. Sports. Three minds, one sound. One sound, one love. Heavy Hitters. But before we go ahead and start the show, gentlemen, we got three words for these folks that we got to start the show. We always start the word with three words. What we got for them? Yeah. And today's roll call goes to Floyd Donnelly, Prove It, Sherman Wood, Pamela Johnson, shouts out to Big Ant, Pat Norris, Bubba Gump, William Amy, Wallace Smith, YMOF, Jamal, Joseph Thornton. We got a therapist in the chat for all you crazies that need somebody to make you feel good. We got the Falcon therapist in the building. So if you see the Falcon therapist and you see Big Ant, you know AFN is in the building. So y'all better be on y'all best behavior. JB, Xavier Littman, Michael Walker, not that Michael Walker, Dex Diggs, Andrew G, RC Plane Builder, Lee 85, Keyshawn Vlad, Cody TV, D Coleman, ATL Leo. We see Jarvis in the building, Wells Lowski. Sonya's in the building as well with June Boy 1996. Dre Murphy. We got the professor in the building too, so y'all make sure y'all definitely show them some love. Xavier Littman, Rush Down Thomas. Bridget's in the building too, so y'all better be on your best behavior. So we're going to get it started here in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. That felt a lot more better doing it on the beat like that, man. How y'all doing? How y'all doing, fellas, man? How we doing this evening, man?
Bliss. I'm grateful. I'm good. Great, great, great.
Chilling, man. It's good. We done made it to Wednesday. It's all downhill from here. What they say, hump day. We done made it to hump day, dog. It's all downhill from here.
Oh no, it would be you to come up with the first joke of the show. He ain't lying though. I'm tell y'all right now, it ain't lying. Thank God I got work this weekend, so yeah, it's downhill from here, but it's gonna be a damn good chilling day down there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. As we already know, we have a pivotal matchup this Sunday coming up against the Carolina Panthers, which is going to be a telltale sign of where the Falcons are going to be going directionally for the rest of the season. Now, I'm not saying that folks' asses are going to be on the line, but I'm saying folks' asses is going to be on the line. You see what I did? Yes, sir. Now, this is going to be the very first game of the year where the Falcons are actually the favorites to win. The Falcons are a 4-point favorite. And it seems like almost 90% of those bets are going for the Falcons. Just want to throw that out there right quick, so folks don't get this damn thing twisted. But let's go ahead and give y'all these keys, man. I know this is what y'all coming in here to give y'all a little bit of these keys here. And as we already know, we're gonna switch it up a little bit tonight. We're gonna let the minister bless us with the first word of the show. Well, what you got, you?
Yeah, man. So go ahead and K Styles, get the graphic.
Ah!
The first key to victory, and this should be the key to victory for the rest of the season. Start fast. Let it rip. Start fast and let it rip. In this game, you gotta start fast. We talked about it the last post game show. We gotta start fast. This offense and this team is built to play with a lead. If you want to grind the clock, if you want to control tempo, we gotta start fast, and that's everything. Throwing the football, we gotta keep the Panthers on their toes. In this game, if I'm the Falcons and if they lose the coin toss and they give us the ability to receive or kick, we need to receive. We need to go ahead and try to go down and score and try to get it, get that lead. Last week, they got the ball first. They struck blood first. In this game, we got to throw the first blow. We got to throw the first punch. We got to start the fight in this game. Because a lot of the times, you guys know, if you ever been in a fight, you know how people say, I'm gonna start the fight and I'm gonna finish it. Sometimes you get hit so hard, it ain't no finishing it. You get hit with one blow and get knocked out. It ain't no finishing the fight if you get knocked out. So we got to come in here like Tyson. We got to come in here like Tyson in this game. We got to run up in the ring. You can't sit down and grab a drink, popcorn, nothing. When I come to the TV, I want that first drive. We got to come out guns a blazing. We got to come out and put our foot on the Panthers' throat, because the Panthers are a team right now that they're similar to the Falcons, and they have nothing to lose. Like last week, it's like, yeah, they beat the Buccaneers, but we know they fired their head coach. They basically are cleaning house. They're basically trying to tank. They traded away C-Mac, Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, they still have a solid defense, but it's pretty much a fire sale right now for the Carolina Panthers as far as their roster. So at this point, what this game is going to tell me about our Falcons is how we play with expectations, because we know what our team can do when we're the underdog. But in this game, you just said it, Kay, we're the favorites. I think this is the first time probably this season where we're the favorites in a game. So in this game, this is going to say a lot about our Atlanta Falcons because good teams, the Chiefs, this year the Eagles, the teams that have been the cream of the crop, the Chiefs have been one of them teams that have been the cream of the crop for the last couple of years. They perform on prime time. In prime time, Patrick Mahomes and those guys, Andy Reid, they don't disappoint. So if you're a good football team, you got to play well when there's expectations, not just when you're the underdog. It's easy to be the underdog and you're not the hunted, you're the hunter. But in this game, the Carolina Panthers are the underdog. So I want to see how this Falcons team, how do they do when they're successful? Because a lot of teams, when you're coming off a loss, it's easy to get up for a game, or it's easy to get up when you're playing the champs or you're playing a team that's better than you. But we know in the past the Falcons have struggled with teams where it was kind of like, okay, we play down to our opponent. We supposed to beat this team, but we kind of, slowly but surely come into the game not ready. In this game, you got to come into this game like you're playing the Chiefs. You got to come into this game like this is your Super Bowl. Because to be honest, you said it best, Kay, opening up the show. This game I said it's a must win, and this is going to be a pivotal game for the Falcons. So you got to start fast. You got to come out in this game like this is the Super Bowl, like this is a playoff atmosphere, because the Panthers, like I just said, they have nothing to lose. They're playing with house money the rest of the season. So much so they done made PJ Walker their starting quarterback. That's the reason they've done that, because they have nothing to lose. So in this game, you got to start fast if you're the Falcons. I want to see Arthur Smith open up this playbook. Let Marcus Mariota let it rip. I want to see deep shots down the field to Drake London. I want to see Kyle Pitts, because we know they can't cover these guys. So give these guys a chance. Back shoulder throws. I've seen that early in this year. Drake London caught a nice back shoulder. Kyle Pitts caught a nice back shoulder. Give these guys an opportunity. They got great catch radius. As y'all were talking with Delilah when she was on the show and she was breaking it down, we have these weapons on this team where you got to take advantage. So in this game, just come out here and it's a home game too. And the fans have been showing up really, a lot this year. They've done a great job of showing up and showing out at home. And we've been doing a pretty good job this year of protecting home field. So in this game, you got to come out and get this win, because right now we're 0-2 in our division. We lost the first game to the Saints. We lost the first game to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We can't afford to come out and lose this game to the Panthers. We need to go ahead and sweep them. And it all starts with this game. This game is going to be kind of like what's going to make or break the season, to be real about it. So we got to come out and have it, but you got to start fast. Play with the lead. Don't get behind in this game. Don't give the Panthers hope. I want the Falcons in this stadium. I need the fans turned up in this game like it's a playoff atmosphere. And I want those Panthers quivering. I want them guys scared. And I want the Falcons to just go out there and prove that y'all can't play with us. The Panthers, y'all been in the cellar at the bottom of the division for years now. So at this point, we got to come out and say, y'all did beat the Bucks last week, but that was a fluke. We not the Bucks. We supposed to beat the Bucks. So at the end of the day, go out here and dominate the Panthers. You can't let teams that you're better than hang around, because that's when they feel like they can pull an upset. If you come out in this game and get like a 14-point lead, a 17-point lead, the Panthers, trust me, they're going to give up. They're going to lay down, especially because we're at home. They don't have nothing to lose, but they're not a team that is built where, because let's be real, they don't believe in their coaching staff, because their coaching staff, everybody's fighting for their own jobs at this point. So in this game, the Falcons got to start fast, put the foot on the throat. Don't let it be close. Come out and dominate in the first quarter. And I think the Panthers, if you control the game in the first quarter, I think that the Panthers will kind of give up in this game.
Now, Drew, you said something very interesting in there, and that was a good take on your kid. You said something you said Arthur Smith needs to open up the playbook. So where do you go about as far as saying, because I'm about to say, because I've noticed here in the last couple, and a lot of those that have been working, back on some of his play calls. I'm done. I was done.
You was cutting
Oh
out,
no,
bro.
it was a lag.
We didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, it was a
It was a
lag.
delay. God damn it. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and repeat this. I to make a phone call to damn self. But um you said something about open up the playbook. And it's coming out also saying that maybe the reason why Arthur Smith hasn't really opened up the playbook, maybe is it because of lack of confidence in the quarterback or lacking confidence from other sources? Because we haven't really seen a lot of those bunch formations. It seemed like once Cordero Patterson went down, the offense has kind of been woo,
Stagnant.
woo. So what you think on that?
I think it's a number of things, bro. I think it's a number of things. I'm not gonna put it all on the coach. I think everybody can get some blame. You know, you can slice this pie up and dice it out into every single person on this team because it's never just one thing. And I think that LT broke it down in some of the little. I seen some clips he had put on Twitter of some of the plays from the last game against Cincinnati, where y'all were talking about the offensive line. The offensive line didn't protect well in this last game, but I feel like it's a mixture of things. I don't think it's just the coach not opening up the playbook because we really don't know, is he trying to protect these guys? I'm seeing a lot of mass protection when we were throwing the ball. I was telling you guys during the post game show, it's only 2-man routes. It's not many routes where you're seeing 4 wide receivers going out for a pass. You're seeing London and Kyle Pitts going out for a pass, and all of the rest of the guys are blocking. Or you're seeing them keep a running back in or a tight end in to help block. So usually that means that the offensive line is struggling, but maybe Arthur Smith don't want to, throw those guys out to dry. Because we really, let's be real, have we seen a game like last season where Matt Ryan was getting sacked like 5-6 times in a game? Marcus Mariota hasn't had many of those games where he's been sacked multiple times. This past game was the first time I think he had like 3 or 4 sacks in one game. Other than that, we haven't really seen that. But I think you can dice it up and slice it up in a lot of different ways as far as the blame. But I do think that Arthur Smith needs to open up the playbook, because how I look at it is like this. Y'all were talking about Drew Dahlman. If he can't get the job done, put Hennessy in the game. At the end of the day, what did Dean Pease say from last season when we had those guys and he said, I couldn't open up my playbook, but this year y'all going to see the full arsenal. At some point, these guys are professionals, so you only can hold their hand for so long. We can't keep dumbing down the playbook because guys can't protect, because guys can't do their job. At the end of the day, if they can't do their job, bench them. That's how I feel about it. But I feel like it's a multitude of things. It's not just Arthur Smith. Marcus Mariota hasn't played well completely. We haven't seen enough. Like I said during y'all's show, he only had 8 of 13 in his last game. Mm-hmm. Can you really say he's not playing well? That sample size is not big enough. And that's what I mean. He got to open up the playbook. We need to see balance. We talked about this last year. It seems like at first we were throwing the ball too much when we had Thomas Dimitroff and Farmer Friend. And now
Dirk Cutter.
Yeah, Dirk Cutter. Yeah, now it's like with this offense, it's a lot of running with Arthur Smith, and we're not really seeing the balance as far as throwing the ball. Now, some of that was it didn't require us to do it, and we heard him say that during the interview today, that it didn't require us to throw the ball in a lot of the games. But there's going to come games like we just seen in this last game where you're not going to be able to just run teams off the field. You're going to have to be able to balance and be able to throw the ball, especially if you don't have the lead. So that's why it's imperative that you find balance. I don't believe you got to air it out, but I do think you got to find balance. And we weren't balanced in the last game. And we really haven't been balanced all year. Let's just be real. Now, it could be a litany of things. So I'm not gonna put it all on the head coach. I'm gonna put it on everybody. The offensive line, Marcus Mariota, everybody got to get on the same page. But I do want to see more sets where it's more than 2 wide receivers going out there for a pass in route concepts. We got to have more guys out there. We can't keep mass protecting because these defenses are too good. Even if with a Drake London, even with a Kyle Pitts, you can't just have guys doing 2-man route concepts.
I'm about to say before we get to your tape, Mike, what you think about that? What you got? I'm trying to see. I'm looking at my bad. I'm looking at the comment section. I think everybody thinking I'm using a razor as a mic. No. Hey, just in case, like I said, if y'all worried about Manscaped, y'all better go ahead and get one.
The link is in the description. All right, so you guys get there for yourself. I mean, what you were saying is right. Like everything is right. But this is where I say you got to be real with yourself. Outside of Drake London, who do you want on this roster as a receiver? Be real with yourself. We can sit up here and say Arthur needs to open it up. We can say players need to play well, but who outside of Drake London and Kyle Pitts, who do you want? Who are you going to go on your man roster and say, I want this guy on my team?
Right.
I want to see some answers in the comments. I want to see some answers in the comments. I can wait. We can put some music on, and I'll wait. I will wait. I will really wait for it. Look at this starting offensive line. Who you gonna bench and bring in and say I'm comfortable with? Jalen Mayfield? Are we gonna say we're comfortable with him? Because we've been trying to replace him since we drafted him. Matt Hennessy, are you comfortable with him? This is what we're talking about. So we want him to open it up, but you open it up to trash. You got trash and you want more trash. And that's not I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but what you got right now is what you have. The Falcons are not a very deep team. So I know everybody wants to see the offense open up, but we gotta be real with ourselves. We're not there yet. We're deeper on the defensive side of the ball than we are on offense. We got a 32-year-old running back. What are we talking about, people? Open it up to what? Damian Williams, he on the sideline with broken ribs. Somebody hit him with a chair shot. Somebody Mick Foley threw him off the top of the hell in the cell. He's his ribs.
Eat dirt.
So I get it. I agree with what everybody's saying, but we gotta be real, people. You gotta be real with yourself. All I see is OZ and the Bird. Why? Because they fast. They ain't because they great wide receivers, just because they fast. You gonna run those fly routes and them post routes and them drag routes with them because they fast on man. Come on, man. I play the game too. We know. So that, like I said, I know everybody's impatient. I know we want the offense to be open up, but Arthur is doing the right thing here. He's doing the right thing. If you can't pass protect, if the quarterback is not up to speed, you gotta take it easy, because the last thing that you want is to kill these guys' confidence, because we're trying to open the offense up, and then you end up like the Colts with 24 sacks in 7 games. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get to that later, though.
Yeah, that's about 3.5 sacks a game. Yeah, but I'm glad you said that, Mike. I'm glad you said that, because your key to this to victory, it actually ties into what the hell you just said. Mm-hmm. It actually goes with what you said too. So, well, you forgot the magic words.
Good stuff. Get the graphics. I actually got a twist to it this time. I got a twist to it.
All right. So,
as everybody knows, hold on. Should I do it? Oh, should I do it? I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. Let me put this up.
what is that? Is that what I think it is?
Yes, it is. Exorcise the demons. So, if you or know anything about Star Wars, you know Kylo Ren is a broken soul. His parents pretty much gave up on him, and gave him away, and he was seduced by the dark side. And why this is significant for us is because all we've done was get abandoned. Falcons fans, the team. If we don't win, nobody cares. They throw us in the trash, they abandon us, and they leave us to fend for ourselves. And guess what happens? We pick up a bunch of trash and we have to motivate ourselves. And sometimes you pick up the wrong habits and do the wrong things because guess what? Nobody gives a damn anyway. But why I put this picture up is because he ended up finding a little bit of hope. He found the one. He found the one that seduced that positivity, that good thing in their life. They found the one. They found the recipe. He found the recipe. And he ended up trying to deny it. You tried to deny it over and over and over again. But one thing that you cannot deny is the truth. And the truth of the matter is the Atlanta Falcons are 3-4 right now. The truth of the matter is, you gotta exercise these demons. Nobody believes us anyway. So guess what the Atlanta Falcons? They've already given up on the Falcons offense. They've already given up on the passing game. They're already saying Marcus Mariota can't do it. They just want to throw Ritter in there and just in there just because. They don't care. So what does Desmond Ritter, Marcus Mariota, Dave Ragone, Arthur Smith have to do? They got to find that positivity. They got to find that light. Whatever that light is, wherever it is, whether it's the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, the offensive linemen, whatever it is, they got to find that light. And its time is now. You got to find that problem now. You can't wait because this is the perfect opportunity to do it. This Carolina team is not very good. They got a few players on defense, but that's about it. This is your time to find the light, the Atlanta Falcons. This is your time to find the light, Marcus Mariota. This is your time to find the light, offensive line, Drew Dorman, Wilkinson, all of the front five. It's time for you guys to suck it up and beat the teams you should beat. This is not a very good secondary. And I expect more than 150 yards passing. Got to exercise the demon. No more excuses. If this team does not pass for over 150 yards, over at least 200 yards, you got a problem. There's no excuse why a team cannot have consistent games over 200 yards passing. Yeah, I love to see 200 yards rushing, but we need balance. And as much as Kyle Pitts is saying, yeah, I'm patient. As much as Drake London is saying, yeah, I'm a rookie and I'm still learning. But we know deep down in their heart, they are wide receivers. They don't want to block all game. They don't want to be a damn decoy for the running backs all game. They want the damn ball.
So is that gonna be if that's gonna be the phrase for this week?
Yes,
we want the ball.
We want the damn ball. Give it to
them. Give them the ball. So
that's it.
So exercising the demons. I like what you did. I like what you did there. My bad, y'all. Got a little eye crust I gotta get out my eye right quick. So wasn't no stress nothing. But so it kind of goes into tail with the same question I asked you as far as. So it pretty much kind of goes well in what Jude says, and it kind of goes into one of the keys that you had earlier in the season. It seems like when this offense is on point, it's always on point when they get Drake and or Kyle involved early.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is why I asked about some of those bunch formations, because looking at some of the all 22, and like I said, shouts out to Devontae, shouts out to LT for breaking down some of those film sessions, and it's kind of coming out to is it really all Marcus Mariota, or is there a deeper issue involved here? Because it's starting to sound like from certain people you have a flaw in this offense, and everybody is kind of putting all the blame on one guy, where the flaw is actually the guys up front.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say here is, yes, we can blame Marcus Mariota for the passing game not being 100%, not being there. Like you said, 125 yards, 147 yards. Like I said, I'm still advocating for run the damn ball. Oh, I'm always advocate that. But like you said, at some point, though, you got to use the run game to set up the pass game. And I want everybody to really pay attention to all aspects of that offense. It's not just Marcus Mariota. We cannot, like I said, I'm not going to say it's wide receivers not running routes crisp or nothing like that. No, they running good routes. But the issue comes down to is you got to pay attention to the interior of the offensive line. And maybe that may be one of your reasons why y'all haven't really seen them throw the ball like that.
Hey, so I want to get into something real quick. You just brought up something, and this is what we talked about. Jude, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you saw Drew Dalman? I always get his dad, but when was the last time you saw Drew Dalman pointing and saying, get this guy, get that guy, get that guy, making line calls? When was the last time you saw that?
He ain't saying nothing. I ain't seen him point. Bruh.
You see that? It's simple. And we wonder why we're not throwing the ball. When you look at Alex Mack when he was on this team, how many times you saw him point at linebackers, point at safeties, turn back to the offensive line, tap the offensive line next to him, tap to the guard next to him? How many times we saw that? Almost everything gonna play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Watch this game, Falcons fans. Go back and watch the games and see how many times you see Drew Drawman touching his offensive lineman, pointing at guards, pointing at tackles, pointing at the safeties, saying, "This is your guy. This is my guy. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that." Watch that, and then you say to yourself, "Why are we not passing? Why isn't Arthur Smith being more aggressive?" It's simple. He's not just holding these guys back. He's protecting these guys because they're not there yet. So that's the issue. We got a good coach. He's not just going to throw these guys out. Just saying.
And all shouts out to LT for bringing up bringing that discussion up right there. But yeah, man, and the reason why they saying that too is because if you okay,
wait. See, this is the stuff we talking about. Like this is stuff we talking about. We always got an excuse. That right there is offensive line 101. We're not trying to compare him to Alex Mack. Just like I don't understand why everybody think all the time we trying to compare when we bring up guys like this. We try to say, all right, he can't be Alex Mack. No, he need to learn how to do basic stuff.
Right.
That's basic offensive line. Fundamental. Right. And he's not doing that.
And when we're talking about offensive line, we're not talking about on the run blocking side of the game. They got that on lock. But one of the major issues, and like I said, y'all can go back, and this is why we always advocate, even after the game is over, y'all go back and kind of look at certain things from these games and get a different perspective. Because trust me, what we're talking about goes back to us rewatching games.
And let me clear up what I'm saying. What I'm saying in this, Drew Dahlman is not doing the basic things. Coach Smith is taking that responsibility for him to read defenses away. And guess who that goes to?
Marcus Mariota.
Number one.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of see why he's hesitating. He's holding the ball a little bit more. This is the reason why, because he has to do everything. When Matt Ryan had Alex Mack, when we signed Alex Mack, he said one thing: I don't have to make all the line calls. I can get in and I can do my job. Be a quarterback. When we get that offensive line, when Drew Dahlman or Matt Hennessy or whoever finally get, that's when you're going to see the offense open up a lot more. But we're not there yet. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're getting at.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's his first, like this is a first full year of him starting. So this is what we have to get into the mindset of. This is kind of what happens when you have to retool and reconfigure what your identity of a team is. You're going to have these lumps. This is what the Falcons have right now. Like you said, the key word was, is Matt Hennessy any better? We don't know. But the thing about Arthur Smith is He's not finna throw his guys under the bus just because of bad performances. We've seen him talk about how well Michael Walker's been playing. We can look at it and say, okay, yeah, that's bullshit. That's a bullshit statement. But he's not gonna he's not gonna throw his players under the bus. He's gonna make your ass work through whatever you need to work through. What made Peyton Manning great for so long? Outside him being one of the top quarterbacks of all times, he had Jeff Saturday. That was one of the most underrated guys he had on that team that nobody talks about.
It took away a lot of his responsibility to make calls and see things.
When Marcus Mariota was in Tennessee, he had Ben Jones as his center. Like you said, when the Atlanta Falcons from 2008 to 2019 for the majority of those glory years, you've only had two centers. Mud Duck. For those that might not know who Mud Duck is, Todd McClure and Alex Mack. The James Stone experience didn't work. That shit was awful. I forgot who the other one was. I know they tried.
The one who played for Tampa. I forget his name. Hawley. Joe Hawley.
Joe Hawley. Yeah. You see why I'm doing it like this? That means this is like a baseball signal.
That boy doing signals.
Exactly. I'm doing the Astros here.
So again, don't feel attacked. What we're saying is Mariota has to do too much at the line. So in order to get the best out of him, where he can worry about just being a quarterback, is we need everybody else to catch up to speed on their fundamentals. Right now, Drew Dahlman is being asked right now is to block. He's not asked to make all the line calls. This is why we're telling you to go back and look at it and see how many times you see him pointing at linebackers and all that type of stuff, touching his offensive lineman. This is what I want you to do. This is these are the fundamentals. These are the small, intricate details that we try to get you guys to focus on during the game. So when you see them and you wondering why Marcus Mariota holding on the ball or the wide receivers don't know where to go and these types of things, this is what we tell you why. I know we took a long time on this key, but this is vital. This is vital to understanding development of the team itself. Communications is paramount, man. In life, period. Not just football, just in life.
Mike, you just said the whole thing in one word. In one sentence. You just said that. You just said this whole conversation right here in one sentence. They got to communicate.
Yep.
And shout out to Brian Peoples for the $1.99 super chat. Said Max Unger for Russell Wilson before he got traded.
Boy, you see this? Now we're seeing the trend now. He doesn't have that in Denver. There's a reason why a lot of these quarterbacks are struggling.
Because if you notice, like I said, you know when Russell Wilson was in Seattle, right after the Legion of Boom era was over.
Unger?
Yeah.
Was it Max Unger?
Yeah, it was Max Unger.
Yeah, Max Unger.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you remember Russell Wilson was booting out to the right a lot or booting out to the left a lot?
The middle is open. When we can't run bootlegs and a lot of rollouts. The first person that's coming, if they're sending those blitzes up the middle, that's the quickest way. to get sacked. It's up the middle to get pressure to stop the run.
And this question right here is exactly what we're talking about. So why Art keep calling 2-man route? Because you have to max protect.
Yeah.
You got to protect the middle of the field.
You gotta max protect.
So that running back ain't going out for no little flat route. He going to block. He's staying in the block.
Or you may have them. You got Kyle. This is why they're trying to do it a little bit. I saw it a little bit more in the Cincy game where they're playing him more flanker. Just trying to get any way he can to get him open. But when you have a pass pro issue with the offensive line, this is why you max protect. This is why teams max protect in those situations. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not because McGarry ain't doing his job. That's not because Lindstrom ain't doing his job. That's not because Jake ain't doing his job. That's not because Wilkinson didn't do a job. Like as far as physically. But if you don't have that communication and you and the quarterback is not on the same page, and this is where a lot of those fumbles come in, those fumble snaps come in. It's not just because Mariota mishandling snaps. It's also the timing of the snaps is all what, or it may be, okay, he snapped it in the wrong angle. Like I said, those little things may look like they're nitpicky, insignificant, trying to excuse the turnovers type of thing. But those things play a big key. It's a game of inches. You off 1 inch can throw your whole play off.
Did you know? I want to play a little did you know real quick before we get to your key case style. But did you guys know that the Atlanta Falcons run a similar scheme to the Kansas City Chiefs? Did you guys know that? Y'all didn't know that, did you? We run a similar scheme.
What?
If you look at Kansas City, they run a hell of a lot of pistol. What's the difference in that? They got a center, Creed Humphrey. One of the better young centers in the game.
Yeah, damn sure is Creed Humphrey.
Yeah.
Shit.
You see, it's all, it makes sense. Every time you have a good offensive line, there's always a good center. He may not be great, but there's always a good center right there.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the only difference is our offensive line is not there. Why do you think they went out and get Orlando Brown? It's all about the experience.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, you brought news to my ears too.
Look,
I'm about to say,
go watch it, bro.
Yeah, I would say that would explain why a lot of Zacchaeus' big plays comes on those crossing routes, and why you see a lot of those clear out routes where Kyle Pitts is clearing out guys.
We run a similar. Just go watch the Kansas City Chiefs. The only difference is there we don't have an offensive line yet that allow us to play 4 wide receivers, but they run a heck of a lot of pistol.
Right. So, well, like I said, and this is just that. Like I said, and this is just. I ain't gonna say it's a suggestion, but it'd be more so of like, okay, I feel like maybe those bunch formations, maybe we see a little bit more doses of those to kind of quicken it up just a smidge bit and try to create those mismatches. And like I said, this is why I say Cordero Patterson was such a major part of this offense for that reason, because he got enough attention to where that bunch formation became deadly. But
we're doing a little bit too much teaching today. I don't think they used to us teaching like this. But this is the heavy. This the heavy hitter.
Bible study.
Hey, Juice, say it again. What is this?
Y'all in Bible study.
Oh man.
Fire in the chat, everybody. Fire in the chat. Fire.
Fire in the chat.
But we're gonna go ahead and go to the 6-man K-Styles key. Let's get a couple of these comments in before we go to my key, man. He says these keys that turned into a history lesson.
Oh man.
And Dre Murphy actually here said another name who I'm about to say right now. You may see a lot more of this guy.
We talked about that. We talked about
everyone because it's about create, like I said, the way that Kansas City kind of does it is they create, what'd you say, Mike? They create matchups with speed. So you have to compensate for speed.
Yep, that's why you have Travis Kelce always wide open, because you got to come. Safety have to respect that speed. You're not going to just leave OZ in the middle of the field by himself because he's super fast. And you got Demir Bird. That's why Demir Bird caught the 75-yard touchdown. That's the speed. You got to keep those safety honest. If you don't keep the safeties honest with a bunch of speed, and that's why you see Arthur using the play didn't work. I like what he was doing. It was just a little bit too much, but this is why you saw those double reverses, because he's trying to keep those safeties, away from the line of scrimmage. So we can get the ball to pitch. We got to open up the offense, and we're not just talking. Open up the offense is a vague term itself too, because open up the offense, you need space. In order to do that, you got to have somebody that is respected as a receiver. I'm talking about a big play receiver that can get deep. And right now, we only have Demir Bird and OZ outside of Kyle Pitts right now.
Okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and get to the 6-man key. K-Styles, what's happening? Get the graphic. Okay. And my key, protect your ego. Now, we have been talking about the need to open up this passing game. We talked about the need to see some yardage. But the one thing you never want to do is fall victim to that. Do not come out here and try to establish yourself as a predominant passing team because the media or people are telling you that this passing game just ain't enough. We need to see more. You don't fall for that. If your identity is run the damn ball, you continue with run the damn ball. Because once you become something that you're not, you can throw the whole flow of the team off. This defense feeds off that running game. We didn't run particularly well against Cincinnati. I want y'all to think about that for a second. We didn't run particularly well. And this is why you're hearing people talk about, Well, we need to see more of this passing game because if the run game doesn't work well, what do we have left? We can complain about how Marcus Mariota ain't throwing for 150, ain't throwing for 250 yards every game, 2 touchdowns, and Kyle Pitts ain't getting 9 catches for $120 every game. This team's identity is within its physicality. Like I said, it's long gone the days of this team throwing the ball 35, 40 times a game. We got to get out of that mindset. You still have to throw the ball, but you have to throw the ball in a smart, efficient way. If they're not giving you Kyle Pitts open, or they're not giving you Drake London open, and Olamide Zaccheaus is open, get that some bitch to Olamide Zaccheaus. If neither of those guys is open, but Damiere Byrd is open, you throw that some bitch to damn Damiere Byrd. If none of those guys is open and Avery Williams is always open, throw that some bitch to Avery Williams. We went through 5 years of talking about forcing the ball to one or two guys, and it's not getting us nowhere. But those same gripes we've had about the previous regime is what you want to force this regime to do with a Kyle Pitts and a Drake London. Gentlemen, let me ask y'all a question. And I want y'all to be very, very honest with me. And I'm going to ask to everybody in the chat is watching today as well. How do you really, really, really feel about the direction of this team? As far as the run-pass ratio.
Y'all heard why I stood on it. How I feel about it is this. We know the game is won and lost in the trenches. You guys know I'm huge on defensive line, offensive line play. And we seen Matt Ryan, go through those years, like you said, K-Styles getting sacked over 40 times a season. So I understand and I completely agree with what you're saying. And I understand the fans in the chat that are saying we got to open it up. And that's like Mike said, opening it up can be a lot of, it can be a vague statement or a broad statement. But I think this team is in a development stage. Like Mike said, when he was talking about the center, he's not making those calls. Marcus Mariota's making those calls. And that was one of the reasons why I said that I don't want to see Desmond Ridder no time soon. Because if Marcus Mariota's doing all of that, Desmond Ridder's not going to be able to do all of that. He's not going to be able to come in, make all the line calls, do all of that, and be a first-year starter and read the defense. He's not going to be able to do all that. So we're going to really set the offense back. Yeah. We're going to really set the offense back. So I completely I like where we're headed because they're starting with the foundation. You got to run the ball first. You can't throw first. It's harder to throw the ball than it is to run block. We've talked about that. It's easier for this offensive line to go out there and try to bully people than actually you got to be technically sound to pass protect and to be able to backpedal. Most holding calls you see in the NFL is not when they're run blocking. It's when you're pass protecting or trying to pass protect is where you're gonna see most of your holding penalties, your false starts. You rarely gonna see that on running downs when the team is running the ball. So I think, like we said, we're in the development stage, and maybe I'm even getting like the fans and being a little bit impatient because I want to see this team, excel, and I want to see this team win now. So I think that's where I think some of the fans are and where I am, because I feel like you're not going to get a real evaluation with 13 passes from Marcus Mariota, 15 passes. I think you have to balance out the offense, because if you looked at that Cincinnati game, I agree with LT what they were saying about the offensive line. But another thing is they were dropping like pretty much their safeties down on that play where they tried to basically have London come across the back like he was doing some type of reverse, and then they pitched it out. Von Bell, which is the safety, made the tackle in the backfield on Tyler Algier. So that goes to show you, like, they were bringing their safeties down because they had no fear of us throwing the ball over their heads. So I just feel like you got to be balanced at some point. It ain't that you got to come out here and try to be the Chiefs or try to be a pass-first team. But I think that, like you were saying, K-Styles, I think this team is headed in the right direction because foundationally, you got to get your trenches in order. If your trenches is not right, I don't care. We've seen this team with all pros on the outside, but we couldn't get them the ball because the trenches were not good. You had Calvin Ridley. You had Julio Jones. You had Hayden Hurst. You had Muhammad Sanu. You had all of these guys that can catch the ball, but we couldn't protect Matt Ryan, so it didn't matter. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you gotta basically every position group complements each other. So the offensive line complement the receivers. You got to have both. You can't just have great receivers and a terrible offensive line. So if anything, I think they need to build the trenches first. So I feel like we're heading in the right direction because they're focused on, let's get this offensive line ready, physical, that we're trying to muck the game up at this point. And I think that's what you got to do. You build from the inside, work your way outside. So I think they're doing it the right way. But at the same time, I also think that you still got to you can't be predictable. That's all I'm saying. You can't be predictable. You got to have balance. When you get out of balance, I don't care if you're running it every play or you're passing it every play. If there's no balance, eventually you're going to fail, period. You got to have some type of balance. If you're not balancing, these teams are too good. Coaches are too smart. You're not going to be able to run everybody off the field. You're not going to be able to be pass happy and throw everybody off the field. You got to have some type of balance, which we've seen with Cincinnati. They threw the ball, and then when they got us off balance, they handed the ball to Joe Mixon. So we got to do the same exact.
And wish if they goofy asses would have did that in the Super Bowl, they'd have a championship.
Exactly. To be honest, they won't balance against us neither. They kind of just went at our weakness. But you heard Mike say in the after show that that's going to be the Bengals' downfall, is that they don't run the ball. And that was their downfall in the Super Bowl. Like you said, if they would have ran it a little bit more with Mixon, they could have easily been the champs. So
what you got on that, Mike?
Well, I really don't care. I just need them to do one thing. Do something well in the passing game. That's it. They don't do anything well in the passing game. If it's a check down, just do the check down well. If it was a post drag, I don't give a damn. Do something well or consistent. So we got so many damn. Look, everybody want the greatest show on turf, man. I just want you to complete the fucking pass. Consistently. I don't care if it's 5 yards route. I don't give a damn. I just need to be consistent.
They said 5 yards in the dash out of bounds. I'm cool with that.
Hey, 5 yards and you run for another 3 to 5 yards. I'm good. That if you can do that consistently with this run game, we can beat anybody. Yeah, but they're not doing that consistently.
Right. And the reason why I asked that too is because when we hear a lot of folks say where they need to pass the ball and do all this and such, it's almost like you get kind of like vague statements where it be like, it's kind of like the same thing where we need to see Ritter play. But then you ask him, what will Ritter do better right now, as of this moment now? Is always the vague statement of, well, he's going to at least attempt to pass the ball more than 13 times. But we're not looking at the systematics behind it. We're not looking at the systematics and the development behind it. So that's why when you coming out with statements like this, you got to make sure you have something to stand on it with, so it doesn't sound vague. See, like I said, I just seen the whole chat just say, I'm not worried about them trying to be the greatest show on turf, but we need to have the balance. We need, like I said, we need to make defenses respect our ability to throw the football. Like you said, it ain't got to be. And I think the issue with some, not all, is when you're talking about passing game, they're mostly indicating as far as more deep shot. I want to see them throw about 9-10 deep shots a game. I want to see Kyle Pitts get 15 targets in this game. I want to see Drake get 10 in this game. I'm like this, and I just said, I'm like this. I don't give a damn who catch the ball. If Keith Smith got to have 7 receptions in this game, God damn it, give Keith Smith the ball 7 times.
Hey, look, just do it consistently. And get positive yards and not incomplete.
Right.
I got a question for both of you guys. I seen something that Terrence Mathis said on the show. And he's been talking about it for a couple weeks. So y'all definitely go check out Terrence Mathis, Atlanta Sports Unlimited. And I was watching one of their shows. They were talking, and he basically said the problem that he had with the passing game, and that's what I was talking about, these 2-man routes. He was saying that, and Mike's talked about this numerous times as well, it's about spacing. And he was saying that a lot of people are getting on Marcus Mariota as far as throwing the ball. But he was saying with these 2-man routes and some of the schemes that we're running, he said it's not enough space out there on the field. So it makes those throws that Marcus Mariota are throwing, that makes the windows a lot tighter. So I kind of wanted to get you guys' take on that. Do y'all think because we're running like the pistol, we're running a lot of mass protection? Do you think if we were to spread out more, that it'll make it easier? Because he's saying basically on Atlanta Sports Unlimited, what Terrence Mathis was saying is it's harder because a lot of people are saying that Marcus Mariota was hesitating. And he was saying the reason he's hesitating is because these windows are so tight that he got to let that ball go now. Can't be no hesitation, can't be no pump fake. 3-step drop, throw the ball. You got to let it go. But he said if you spread the teams out a little bit more, it'll make it a lot easier for Marcus Mariota to be able to determine who's blitzing, who's in man-to-man coverage. He said right now with these safeties all dropped in these condensed formations, it makes it a lot harder for the quarterback. So I kind of want to get you guys' take on it.
I'm like I said, I'm gonna be K Styles with this. He's absolutely right about it. But I'm about to ask a series of questions. Who do you trust Caleb McGarry one-on-one? Do you trust Drew Dahlman one-on-one? Do you trust Wilkinson one-on-one? If you
please don't remind me of that play.
I'm just asking. See, everybody has all the answers to it, but they won't think too deeply into it. And it's really just that simple. Mm-hmm. If you can't say to yourself, I trust an offensive lineman to be one-on-one with the defensive lineman, then how can you say we need to spread it open? Because if you spread it open, guess what? McGarry gonna be one-on-one. Drew Dahlman gonna be one-on-one with Aaron Donald. Wilkinson gonna be he's gonna be one-on-one with Aaron Donald. So when you as an offensive play call can say, I trust my offensive lineman one-on-one, that's when you can open the plays up.
Shit, the way Wilkinson looked like Sunday, he was one-on-one with his damn self.
He was just standing there. He wasn't even doing that. He's just looking.
You look like this.
But he's
I'm here.
absolutely right. Aaron is absolutely right. But that's not the reason. It's deep. Look, this is why we always say it's deeper. It's deeper than just that. He's just not calling stuff just to not call it. He's not giving him. He's not calling Max Protect just not calling Max just to be calling Max Protect. There's a reason behind it. So when you can trust your offensive lineman to do their job consistently, that's when you as a play caller can do like Andy Reid and say, all right, we're going to sit here and just let Patrick Mahomes run around the backfield for 10 seconds. Come on, man.
Right. Damn, boy, that's a damn good question. Yeah, like I said, McGarry. Like I said, this is why this is why I said 5 yards and a dash out of bounds. That's gonna be the mantra this week for offense. 5 yards, hashtag 5 yards and dash out of bounds. That's the new hashtag. You know, because they got the 4 yards in the cloud of dust. I want everybody to put that in the chat right now. Hashtag 5 yards and a dash out of bounds. And dash out of bounds. We're gonna make that the hashtag of this week. 5 yards, dash out of bounds. Because if it's one of those cases where you don't really trust the offensive line right now, and you may feel like the pass protection is not there, like you said, and then like I said, shoot, it's called because the issue with him holding the ball like that is because they're trying to hit these deep shots. That's what Marcus Mariota wants to do. Y'all ask for the deep shots. He's trying to give you the deep shots, but the problem is they're not open, and it's going to be
no space. Yeah,
it like I said, it's not open, and it's not because the wide receivers are not getting open, but if you have to max protect to develop those. You have to think about it. That most of those 2-man routes is coming from 2 receivers who are fast, but they not speed demons. So the fucked up part about it is we went from everybody praising Marcus Mariota for winning NFC Offensive Player of the Week the week before, and now he's public enemy number 1 again, which is very interesting because didn't we hear about this holding on to the ball too long with somebody else?
Somebody, you think?
I want y'all to answer me this question. When we hear about Mariota holding on to the ball too long, doesn't this sound kind of familiar?
I bet they probably saying this here. Why y'all got an answer for everything? I know they saying that to themselves. These Negroes got the answer for everything.
Because this is what we do. This is why y'all love to watch us and you hate to watch. This is why what they said. This is why y'all love us and this is why you hate us at the same time.
We got an answer for everything. Hey, but
See,
like I
I
said,
heard.
man, go ahead.
This is why I said it. This sounds very familiar. You have to remember, if you're running deep routes, you gotta hold on to the ball longer. That is the most basic concept of timing I think everybody should know by now. If you're quick in the passing game, maybe the ball comes out sooner than you want. Hashtag 5 yards and a dash out of bounds.
Just saying. That's all.
Oh my God. Here you go. Should Arthur give a play call? No. Arthur Smith is doing great work.
Why would you even ask that? Why the hell would you ask that?
Because I'm about to say, you do realize that before last week, they were doing 5 yards and a cloud of 5 yards and a dash out of bounds. They was doing that before last week. They didn't have a choice against Cincinnati because they was trying to get back into the damn game. So they tried to throw the ball deep and try to get some one hit quitters. Just saying. 5 yards and a dash out of bounds. And I'm gonna keep on saying that. And wait a minute. Is that who I think it is in the background? Wait a minute. Nah, I can't put my dashiki on. So if you don't know who this is, you know who this is. You can call on Tyrone.
What's up, everybody? What's going on?
What's happening, man?
Hey, man, it's a good night. Hawks won. We gonna celebrate our Hawks tonight. You know, close game. Clint Capella is the best center in the league. I just want that to be known. I don't care what Javen got to say. I don't care what nothing got to say in Discord. Clint Capella is the best center in the league. You know, I'm gonna come in here with some animosity because my Hawks won, and you know my Falcons are doing better than expected. We might have lost Sunday, but bad game. You know, we still better than expected. Still got a better team. I'm not worried. But I do. This is all a promo, y'all. Y'all know I don't talk like that. This is all a promo. I got a show tonight, y'all. I'm gonna try to come. I'm going on right after Mike. It'll be on the network, so it won't be on Mad Mike Sports. It'll be on the network, and it'll be on Feeler Sport. It'll be on the Feeler page live. It'll be after these guys go off. You know, I want to talk about the Hawks and the Falcons. Any questions? Y'all haven't heard from me in a while. I haven't done a show by myself in a while. So it'll be me and Tommy. You'll have you two guys from Feeler. You know, we'll be over there talking Hawks and Falcons tonight. So,
hey man, shoot. Hey, like you said, man, you get that Tyrone the spirit. Like I said, make sure you get you one of them candle holders. Get you one of them incense holders.
no,
so
because
do that.
y'all know the joke I have for that, and we can't say that on here. So we just
No, I already know where he going with it. We're not doing that.
We ain't doing that. Like I said,
Nope.
if you got a dashiki or a head wrap, you make sure you put that on when you tune in to Tyrone. Because if you don't, Erica Badu gonna pop up at your front door talking about where Tyrone.
ATM here. I ain't talked to ATM in a while. He be tagging me in tweets.
Oh,
and stuff.
but he been extensive been in ass. That's all.
Oh yeah. Hey, ATM, we on the train. ATM, if y'all talk to me on Facebook, y'all know what my profile picture is. It's the Quavius, you know.
Oh my goodness.
You
We
got
are
some
not
people-
finna do that tonight.
we got look. You deserve. You know how in high school they do stuff like this. That right there. You put that right on top of your forehead. Just put a John L on your forehead.
We is not doing this.
We not doing that. So yeah, y'all. Hey, let me get this real quick. I got a PSA real quick. I want to put up 2 graphics real quick. I got to do this real quick. So,
Let me move that out the way for you.
all right. This I just want to throw this in real quick. All right. Now I know a lot of people have a lot to say about this situation, but I want to highlight this one more time. But this graphic is up here for a reason, and this is something that we talk about even with the Atlanta Falcons, is that the sack number. Right now, this is last year with the Atlanta Falcons, met around 40 sacks. He was sacked 40 times. With the offensive line that was much, what we said wasn't worth anything. This year, through 7 games, he given up more than half of that. Over half of this number in 7 games. Why would I put this up?
So that's 7 games. Hold on, let me see. So you got. Let me see some. I'm finna do some I'm finna do some calculations here.
We ain't got to do no damn man.
I was gonna say that we're not even a halfway point.
And the man 2 plus 2, 2 and 4.
Yeah, we not halfway through the season, and he already had half of what above half of what he was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right, above. What's the calculation? What's the calculation? That's more than half. That's like
He would have been. He'd be on pace to getting sacked almost 60 times this year.
Oh
yeah.
Over
60 times. And we wonder why this man. Yeah. And Frank White going like I say, we did not hold up our end of the bargain. Like it's amazing how you mother cluckers in this chat right now are going out and saying to yourself that I told you so, but you neglect the fact that again that this man has gotten sacked 24 times in 7 games.
He got beat up so bad. I forgot what game it was I watched. It was one game. I think what week was the Falcons?
He got beat up every damn game.
But I'm saying I watched the game.
It ain't even one game. He got a black eye every damn game. He got a black eye every game.
It's what you know what's so funny. It's so funny to me that people we were complaining about our O-line, and I saw somebody say something on Facebook that was like, "Oh, well, the problem is Matt Ryan," and I don't even understand how you come to that conclusion, because everybody's like, "Well, you look at our O-line this year, our O-line looks a lot better, and Matt not here," and then you look at Indy and they look a lot worse. You can't do that. And this is 2 different scenarios. We have development here. One thing about it, they let a lot of their guys go this offseason. Like that, like we have a developed team this year. That like what a lot of people want to not realize is that this team has been around for it. We 2 years deep. They got a lot more experience this year. One thing about Indy, they done had a rotating door at every position on their O-line. They ain't got no chemistry. They ain't got nothing. Only person that's messing up the chemistry is Wilkinson.
Because I gotta say this. I gotta say this because this is they coming at me. So you know I hit back. I swing back. I swing back with facts. All right. That's why they don't like me to begin with, because when I swing back with facts. You can get in your feelings all you want to, but the fact remains the same, is that this man was so-called a better offensive line than what the Falcons had, and they are worse. What is that? something ain't right. You got the coach saying we didn't hold up the end of our bargain. And we talking about I told you so when this man still he got sacked 24 times, and that's well over getting hit over 10 times every game.
What's the attempts per game?
Hold on. And still was third and the fourth in the league in passing yards. But he's done. He's finished. And this is Matt Ryan. I'm going at the Matt Ryan supporters and the Matt Ryan haters because you Matt Ryan supporters were telling me I abandoned Madden and you don't want to talk about Madden. I can't believe you. I don't want to come to your channel anymore. Well, guess what? This is it. This is the truth of the matter. No one player is going to overshine what's in front of them. And what's in front of them is an offensive line. If you don't have the offensive line right, how do you expect to succeed? He's third in the league in passing, and they're 3-1. They've had to come back, 2 comeback wins this year. But we're worried about a quarterback. Tom Brady looked like pure ass because his offensive line is like non-existent. The same thing for Aaron Rodgers. Offensive line is horrible. The comment line, we can go to Denver.
You can go to Matthew. Shit. LA.
And over and over again. It's right there before you. So this is the thing that we're talking about. It has nothing to do with whether or not a quarterback is good enough.
I have a crazy scenario for everybody to hear.
I'm good, but I had to get that out right now because a lot of you suckers out there and a lot of you suckers because y'all disappear, y'all run and hide, stay away from the channel for 3-4 months, and then soon something that goes down with Matt Ryan. See, Michael told you so. We got 75, almost 100 comments on a Matt Ryan video. But you're supposed to be, you love your Atlanta Falcons. You love your Atlanta Falcons. We put our Atlanta Falcons comment, well, we don't get as many comments. But as soon as we drop a Matt Ryan video, oh, y'all come running. I told you, man. I told y'all.
Hey, look, look. You know what I'm gonna say it like that? I'm gonna say it like this. Let me throw this right quick. Let me throw these numbers out here right quick.
I'm done. I just had to say that because, like I said, I've been getting a lot of hits and I told you so, Mike, and all that type of stuff. But they won't throw in the facts. I throw in the facts.
Mm-hmm. Let me throw
on top of the 11 fumbles and 9 interceptions. So he did have the 20. But yeah, we can throw we gonna throw facts in there. We don't leave out the facts.
Let me throw these numbers out here. 50, 30, 37, 37, 41, 58, 44.
Passing attempts? Passing attempts? Gotta be passing attempts. That's nuts for a 37-year-old. He's 37. You do not need to be having him throw the ball that much in the game. And you know what? And like Frank Rick said, they didn't give him they didn't even give him the running game they promised them. They promised them the running game. We got Jonathan Taylor. We got Nehemiah Hines. You know, we got running backs. We got one of the best running games in the league. Jonathan Taylor gets hurt. Nehemiah Hines gets hurt. And then you dealing with guys coming off practice squads and coming off the street playing running back.
Yeah. Like I said,
go ahead. Right after let you get his.
I'm gonna let you go. Let you go and get your take on that, man.
I mean, Mike hit the nail on the head, and I'm gonna do a separate video talking about Matt Ryan on my channel. But like we said, I really think that a lot of people are not paying attention to this, but I think that this is what the Colts are doing, and I haven't heard this spin on it. But I really think that they're trying to tank, to be real. They're trying to tank for a quarterback. Let's just be real. I don't even think it's mainly they don't want to pay Matt Ryan. I think it's more about they're trying to tank because they know the guy that they just recently that's stepping in for Matt Ryan. They don't believe in that kid. This kid that's backing up Matt Ryan that's going to be taking over. And I seen it in the chat. Somebody saying like the Colts are still like right there. The division in the AFC South is still up for grabs. Like they're right behind the Titans who beat them on Sunday. I think the Titans are like 4-2. The Colts are 3-1. So I think it had less to do with Matt Ryan and more to do with they're trying to move forward and they're trying to tank for one of these quarterbacks that's coming out in this upcoming draft. I really think that that's what it's about because Jonathan Taylor, they have so many injuries that I think that they kind of looking at this year like a wash regardless. And they'll rather not be in the and I don't agree with this, but I've seen teams that do this. They don't want to be in the middle of the pack, meaning we might sneak into the wild card because they're going to have a worse draft pick. So they're looking at it like, being that we've had all these injuries, we're probably not going to win the Super Bowl this year. So they'll rather just lose these games. Of course, they can't say that they're come straight out and say that they're tanking, but I think that that's what they're doing. They're trying to tank so they don't sniff the playoffs. So they'll know that they'll get one of those top picks in this upcoming draft. I think that's mainly what it's about. I don't really think it has much to do with Matt Ryan. Yeah, Matt Ryan has an injury, but I don't think it really had anything to do with Matt Ryan's play. I think it had more to do with, let's see if we can get a quarterback in next year's draft. Let's go ahead and just lose games. Make it look like we're trying to compete, but we know we're going to lose games at this point. Because with Matt Ryan, they were actually still winning games, even though the games was ugly. Like we talked about that, I think that Thursday night game when it was the Broncos and the Colts. That game was ugly, but they end up pulling it out. Some way, somehow, the Colts end up pulling it out. And to be honest, they still had a chance with Matt Ryan as the quarterback to possibly win the division, but they don't want to win that division. They don't want to make the playoffs because they're looking at how many injuries they have. With Jonathan Taylor being out, with Nyheim Hines being out, and then a litany of guys that they have hurt on that offensive line, they don't want to be one of those teams that's going to be in the middle of the pack, even if they miss the playoffs. They don't want to be 8-9 or one of those teams that you're in the middle of the pack and then you end up getting like the 20th pick in the draft. They want to be one of those teams that get a top 10 pick. So I think that's really what it's about because it didn't make sense when I seen, when it came out. I'm like, this early in the season, why would you guys say that, this is like permanent, basically? They say even if Matt Ryan does get healthy from that shoulder injury, that we're benching him pretty much for the rest of the season. So I think that's what a lot of people are kind of overlooking. I think that's mainly what it's about.
I hadn't looked at it. I thought about it, but that wasn't like a thing. But it's like, are CJ and Bryce Young really that good that you're gonna tank for him? Or Will Levi?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Like I feel like anytime you're tanking for a player, it's a crapshoot because we know, we've seen that with these quarterbacks, these young quarterbacks that you never know. Any player could be a bust. So I never believe in tanking, but I really think that that's what the Colts are trying to do on the low.
But my question would be to that is if that was on the back of your mind this whole time, why even pull the trigger on that deal in the first place?
Talking about Matt Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that was technically going into it. I don't think that was their goal. I think this year they were going to try to go all in to win. I think it wasn't until they had the injuries that they changed their mind on it. So like once Jonathan Taylor got injured, once all of those offensive linemen got injured, I think they're looking at like how far are we really going to go this year?
Let's just get the season over with.
Yeah. How far are we going to really go?
There's a negative connotation that goes behind that too. I mean, like you said, you don't know how this team is going to react. Like you said, the defense for the Colts have been keeping these guys in games too, and you're telling them that you're going to be tanking offensively. Yeah, you leave a bad taste in a lot of players' mouths like that.
Mm-hmm.
ATM, to answer your question, the Giants and the Seahawks are the only two winning record teams to play a game this Sunday. Just so everybody knows that. It's the Giants and the Seahawks. They're the only two teams in the league right now playing on Sunday with a winning record. So we still on pace.
Mm-hmm.
You still in the hunt. We nowhere near behind anybody.
Right.
We right there.
That's crazy. Yeah, that like I said, that's crazy. And like I said, it's like if that mindset is for tanking and it almost kind of like they're trying to loophole. It almost like it's like a loophole trying to differentiate from what the Dolphins were being accused of doing with what was Brian Flores
They're a
and tanking and shit.
sleazeball organization if that's what they're doing. He's a
Yeah.
sleazeball.
Okay. Okay. Let's say it like this, and maybe they turn it around, and we can't say this next year, and maybe they go all in, and you let Matt play. But what's the point of drafting a quarterback at that point? Really?
It's a form of tanking, and that's why I say at this point in time the owners are going to have to govern themselves, because we can't keep having this, because we know that slave is not going to do anything. And I'm talking about Commissioner Goodell. He ain't going to do a damn thing because he's a slave of the owners. And that's just real. He works for the owners, so he's not going to do anything. But it comes down to the owners are going to have to police themselves, and
it's the
9 times that they're not gonna do anything. But like I said, it's a form of tanking. And quite frankly, if I were the Players Association, like I will file a grievance against them. This is illegal. It's dead wrong, because what you're doing, you're playing with players' lives and livelihoods. Because these players go to these teams because they actually want to play it. So if you're going out of your way and say, all right, we're going to come here to compete, well, you just brought these guys to this team on false pretense. And that's where things can get real nasty as far as the code of law, because like you said, I signed this contract because you said we're going to compete. And then before the season over, you just start getting rid of everybody and say, like, hold on. I came here to play for Matt Ryan. I here to play with Matt Ryan. I came to play with Jonathan Taylor. And then you just say, all right, we're going to put the third, like the backup quarterback. Huh? When has he ever had any, like, that'd be real. Sam Elliott, like, come on, stop, people.
Does it make sense moment of the day, guys? This is the Make It Make Sense segment.
Is that make this shit make sense?
The Texas legend Sam Elliott couldn't beat any top school in the Big 12. You know, big game Sam Ellinger. You know,
right?
You said he Kirk Cousins Jr.?
No, definitely. He's definitely Kirk Cousins Jr.
Oh Lord.
Oh, definitely. That would even never came to my mind until you said it. But he's definitely Kirk Cousins Jr.
Oh Lord. And ATM here said, and this is the receipt man here, so I know this is some shit. He said Ryan Kelly already said they don't like it. He said the locker room ain't happy about this.
No. Yeah, you pull the plug off of them week 7. You're playing with their livelihood, and you're playing with their health, and you're playing with their life.
See. And guess what, people? And this is look. Let me get this, Mike. And this is the reason why they haven't pulled the plug on Marcus Mariota as soon as y'all wanted to.
Because we still there. We still right in the middle of it. We still on pace.
Because if the locker room is not happy about this and they're fighting with this guy through thick and thin, okay, Matt Ryan has some bad games. But at the same time, I think they may have only gotten their ass whooped like real bad, like maybe one game. But they're in the trenches with this certain guy, and you're still in contention of your division, and you're going to pull him out in hopes that this is just for next year. Look at the comment. Ryan Kelly said the locker room is not happy.
It's going to take the players that go against Irsay. Man, that's a dangerous game.
That is the risk you run of pulling that move so soon. This is why we said we don't need to see Ritter right now. Not because we don't believe Ritter isn't good. We believe Ritter is the better quarterback. But if you got guys in the locker room that is fighting and want to play with Mariota, you have to keep that locker room morale up. Because, Falcons could be 3-4 right now. Who knows? They could pull out a run just because they playing with the guy they want to be in the trenches with right now. Like the Colts, they 3-1. The next 3 games could say something completely different. They could go 3-0 in those next 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're essentially doing is, and then when you get like I said, in this situation, when you got a coach that has to sit here and apologize to a quarterback, that's some.
He know it's not right.
He knew it.
When you gotta apologize, you know it's not right.
I learned something from one of my coaches when I was playing, and it's like a life lesson, but it's something you got to learn in general. You don't knock a person down when they already getting beat up. You can't keep beating somebody up over and over again. One thing they doing, you done seen Matt put his damn near body on the line every week because he getting hit multiple times every game. And then you going to take him right out the paint and be like, you know what? Your shoulder hurt. But even because your shoulder hurt, we still ain't going to, even when you get healthy, you still ain't going to play. That's something you don't do. And as a team, if you see that as a team, you like, bruh, the dude didn't even earn his spot. Like, I could have seen if Sam came in there and Matt was hurt and Sam went 3-0, and it was like, okay, we just going to ride on the hot quarterback hand. And that's what's going to mess the Patriots up. That's really what's going to mess Belichick up. We ain't going to get into that tonight. But that's what you're doing. You're literally just saying, all right, you hurt already, so we already know you ain't going to play. But you know what? You still ain't going to play when you come back and you're healthy because we just want to lose. We just want to be a bad team.
We don't want to risk having to pay for your fully guaranteed contract.
Yeah, really. I don't want to spend money. That's what it says. I don't want to spend money. It's sick. It's a sick. That's horrible.
Mm-hmm. That's why we advocate over here. You can make moves like that, but you got to be willing to deal with the consequences that may come with said move. Just because it worked with the Denver Broncos in 2015, Denver Broncos had one of the best defenses in the league. They was able to lean on Willis McGahee. They benched Peyton Manning after 7 games and brought in Brock Osweiler. And then Peyton Manning came in the playoffs. He got hurt. Yeah. I think it was that show. You know what? It was the same. It was the same damn injury. He had the shoulders.
It was the same. He had the shoulder injury. Yeah. Always saying is like I said, at the end of the day, like I said, I don't want to spend too long because I know TJ he gonna go. We're gonna give everybody last takes, but at the end of the day, man, like, I mean, this might hit other people right on. Others might feel some type of way about it, but this is what the civil rights was all about. Just give me an opportunity. I'm not asking for it to be, given preference and treatment. I just want an opportunity. That's it. Don't tell me because I look a certain way, I act a certain way, I can't get something. Because you don't like it. You just snatch it away from me. I just want the opportunity. And this is what the players want. They just want the opportunities. I don't care if they're getting paid millions of dollars. But at the end of the day, if you promise this team that we're going to go out for a championship. Don't pull the trigger or pull the carpet off on the legs after week 7. We got 8 more games, and you pulled like just say, all right, guys, that's it. Hold on, what would you mean? We got 8 more games left. No, we don't. We're gonna bench Matt Ryan, we're gonna bench this player, and we're gonna start putting everybody on the trade block. Because that's what they've done. Everybody's on the trade block right now. Them and the whole defense because they're trying to get money, or they can go try to retool again. It's criminal. Just give them an opportunity. That's all.
It's dumb. It's absolutely dumb.
And some players don't have some players don't have a year. Their bodies are done. So this probably their last hope to even get a championship, and you just snatch it away. It's criminal, bro. So we'll kind of give everybody last takes on that. Go ahead, K-Star. You can go with that. This irritates me, man. I'm sorry. This really irritates me.
Before I get my take, I just got one question, and I saw it in the chat. What Nick Foles the backup?
Bro, that's the whole.
That's the thing.
Go ahead, Dude.
Go ahead, finish. Go ahead and finish. Yeah, that's the thing.
Now, okay, so
look, make it make sense. He said, make it make sense. That's why I said they tanking. Make it make sense.
There's no you gonna put a non-experienced quarterback and you got Nick Foles sitting right there. What? He won a Super Bowl. What? Yeah.
Okay. So pretty much what my last take is gonna still be on this subject, but I want to address this to certain fans here that sitting up here showing their thong and celebrating here in Atlanta because Matt Ryan got benched. Only thing I have to say on that is there's a deep-seated hatred that is nasty out here. There's a reason why we don't talk, and then, like I said, there's a reason why we don't talk about Matt Ryan that often right now is because he's not an Atlanta Falcon. But you can't call yourself a fan of the Atlanta Falcons and you got Matt Ryan's dick still in your mouth. Can't stop talking about him. And at the end of the day, the root of it all in your mindset has nothing to do with him on the football field. When they got rid of him, that's cool. Like I said, now you can concentrate on the Falcons and what the Falcons are doing for the upcoming season. That ain't that what fans do? Okay, if one of their favorite players is gone, they like, okay, he's gone. We root for the new guy, right? I'm just asking y'all a question. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
That's what you're supposed to do.
But if you're calling yourself an Atlanta Falcons fan and you jock watching a motherfucker on another team just to hope to see him fail, maybe Matt Ryan was never the issue. Maybe your ass was the issue. They were showing more than thigh meat, boy. They were showing labia lips out there. That's what they were doing.
Man.
So and for all the, and then Matt Curley asked in his tweet talking about, well, my Colts fandom died when Matt Ryan got benched. Bruh, sit your goofy ass down and stay right where you at.
Yeah, no. Hey.
That is pathetic. That's pathetic. This is why you have to say you are a fan of the team. You can be a fan of the player, but if you're a fan of the player, but you ain't got nothing to say on the team, are you really a fan of the team? Or either you're a fan or you dislike this player or whatever. If this player is the first thing you talk about, other than your team, and he plays for another team, I'm sorry, bro. Matt Ryan was never the issue. You were the issue. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
You want to go? Do you want me to go?
Hey, go ahead, man.
See, after K Styles just preached the good word, I'm not gonna come as nice as K Styles said it. If you happy that Matt Ryan got bitch, you's a bitch. I'm just gonna say it just like that. Look, if you got that man meat down your throat that bad that it's suffocating you that you can't even every word that come out every time you gag is Matt Ryan, that's a problem. Every time you get a little bit of air, you gotta say Matt Ryan because it's gotta go right back down your throat because he ain't letting up. That's a problem. You have it's a mental illness. It's really a problem that we went from we went from loving this man to hating this man to he took us to the Super Bowl, he's an MVP, to when we lost the Super Bowl, that's why we suck because Matt Ryan lost the Super Bowl, blah blah blah, to where y'all made him the scapegoat for the last since 2017 on. Y'all made him the scapegoat for every season. Every season that it could have been something. We could have had the worst defense in the league. Matt Ryan fault. We could have had the worst line in the league. It's Matt Ryan fault. Y'all made him a scapegoat for so long that now it's in your head that you just can't get it out your head. You can't get him out of you. You can't. He in you now. Now he look. I can't say what I want to say.
I knew where you were about to go with it. Nah, bro, don't do that.
You can't say it. Look. He in you right now. Well, he done broke your cherry, and he ain't pulled out yet, and now you stuck on him. He done made you crazy in the head. He done took your virginity. Now you crazy in the head. Now you don't know what to do, and now you can't stop talking about him. You can't have this hate towards this man, and he's not here no more. It's the thing, he's not here no more. I could have seen if he got benched while he was here. Oh, okay, hoorah, hoorah, he got benched while he was here. He's not here anymore. The man is in a whole different state. He's in the Midwest. That man, when he left Atlanta, he did nothing. He went on 92.9. He went on the AM channel. He went on some podcasts. He went and talked to some people. He went and opened a school before he left. He went and done everything he had to do before he left to leave on good terms in this city, to make sure that y'all knew that he loved y'all and he cared about y'all as a fandom and as a team. And as just as a person, he cared about the city of Atlanta. He built a whole wing of a hospital. What do y'all want? Y'all couldn't have. He couldn't have done more for this city. And the more y'all did was just hate this man. And the more love he showed y'all, the more y'all made it something it wasn't. He built the wing in the hospital. Oh, you know he doing it for a tax write-off. You know he really don't care. He just doing it to doing it. He just doing it so he can show he got some money. You know, he can give his money out so he get his money back. Y'all was giving up excuses. Y'all made Sarah Arthur Blank's daughter or grand, whatever she was supposed to be, niece, whatever y'all wanted her to be. Y'all made her, and she came out and said it herself. And then y'all still didn't want to say nothing. Y'all still didn't want to believe it. Y'all had a delusional mindset from day one with this man. And it continued on. And to all of the Falcons fans that left that wanted to be Colts fan, you's a bitch too. You just got to get that from me too, because now you can't come back. I'm sorry, I can't let you come back. You done left. You gone. You left. You are not here no more. You left this team because you were a Matt Ryan fan. Now you gonna sit there in Indianapolis this whole season and watch him sit on the bench. Don't come back now because you see where we at, and you was like, damn, I thought the Falcons was gonna be horrible, and we at the same, almost the same record as them. Only thing they got a tie. So use a bitch, and the people that hate this man use a bitch too, and that's how I'm gonna end it.
And the thing about it is, hold on, let me make one point right quick. And the bad thing about it is the hatred for him is real. He did for the community, but the motherfucker that y'all look up to is destroying your community. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I'll say this, and just end it on this. If you really are Atlanta Falcons fans, you want to talk Atlanta Falcons content, Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Hawks, Braves, Bulldogs, whatever your team is. You don't have to be a Falcons fan. You can just be a sports fan. Whatever y'all want to talk about. Yeah. Right here. We're not all about that. Now we got that out of our system. All that, everybody's a bitch and all that type of stuff. We jump on that positive note right about now. This is easy to point the fingers at everybody and say, all right, use a bitch and you do. At the end of the day, y'all want real Atlanta Falcons content, positive. Like I said, we said what we got to say, and we not talking about this anymore. You can go to your personal channels and have all the grievances that you want about Matt Ryan, about what you hate, but we're not speaking on this anymore. Because we about uniting, we're about coming together as a fan base, because we got 5 billion other people, or 5 million other people that can do podcasts and do channels. And y'all can get that anywhere at any time. But we not doing that over here. So if you like what we doing, stand positive, and you don't want to continuously talk about Matt Ryan and Matt Ryan haters and Matt Ryan supporters, right here. That's the end. That's all I got to say about that. We on positive note. We turning the page. Everybody got everything they got out of their system. That's it. Let's talk some real Falcons football right about now. So with that being said, K-Styles, if you don't have anything else to say, I pass the mic to you.
I'm about to say Jew. I already said mine. I think it's Jew's turn to go ahead and.
Okay.
You got to get his out.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. It's not gonna even be about Matt Ryan because the fans know how I feel about Matt Ryan, and we talk football over here. They called me the minister for a reason. The heavy hitters, all of us up here, we talk. We've given you guys knowledge on the game of football. What I'll just say about our Atlanta Falcons is we're blessed to have an owner like Arthur Blank. This is why I love Mr. Blank, because we don't have to worry about even the seasons when we were trash. The last couple seasons, we can admit we were trash. We haven't made the playoffs in about 4 to 5 seasons straight, but we never have to worry about, Arthur Blank coming down and talking to the coaches, telling them what players they're going to play. We don't have to worry about Mr. Blank tanking, for players and things of that nature. So we just got to realize how blessed we are to have an owner that believes in competition, that allows guys to do their job, and he doesn't interfere like the Jerry Joneses of the world, like a lot of the owners and the Jim Irsay's, that he stays in his place. He stays up in his office. He doesn't, intervene. He allows these guys to do their job. So with that being said, that's pretty much all I got to say, is that let's respect the Atlanta Falcons. Let's thank Mr. Blank, because he's one of the better, like I said, to me, he's the best owner in the league, but he's definitely one of the best owners based upon he doesn't interfere. When he hires you to do a job, he lets you do your job. He doesn't step on these guys' toes. So I think that that's one of the things that kind of goes overlooked. We may not have won a Super Bowl yet in our organization, but we're going to eventually win one because he does things the right way. When you have an owner that does things the right way, knows how to treat his players, know how to treat his coaches and his staff, that goes a long way. So with that being said, like I said, we need to give Mr. Blake his flowers. I think he had a birthday not too long ago. We need to get this man his flowers. All this man wants is a Super Bowl ring, and he's trying to put these guys in positions to succeed. He doesn't get in the way though when it comes to what players you're gonna play, how you're gonna play them. He gets out of the way. When he hires you to do a job, he lets these guys do their job. So shouts out to Mr. Blank. He's a lot better owner than a lot of these owners out here that is out here stepping on, their coaches' toes and the GMs and the things of that nature. So shouts out to Mr. Blank, and shouts out to the Atlanta Falcons organization for doing it the right way.
I just want to say this is my last thing, and it's on Juice's point. I'll say this: that ring that he won with the United, I promise you, he was happy he won it. But I promise you, he wants to ring with the Falcons so much more. I can promise you that. I can guarantee you, he wants to ring with the Falcons so much more. He has so much more invested in his team. Like, this is his baby. I gotta think, this is the only team he's owned, and he had the United, and United just caught fire, and they won a ring.
Right.
This is his baby. He's had this since before I was born, bro. Like, you got to think, like, he wants this ring. He was so happy. He's been there twice. He wants one. He's felt the joy of winning the NFC Championship twice. You don't think he wants to feel the joy of winning the Super Bowl? And he was so close to doing it. Like, he wants that ring, and I promise you, he's gonna do his hardest to get us one.
So positivity from this point on, we're gonna stick on to what's positive, what we can control and hear. Atlanta Falcons content.
And this is why we always say we ain't for everybody. Like I said, if you want a channel, or you want people to talk about how much Mariota sucks throwing the football, or how much the Falcons are going to suck this year, and I'm very angry and I have no hopes for this team anymore type of talk, you're not getting it over here. It's a lot like that. It's easier to be negative than it is to be positive. These algorithms on all these social media sites will point you towards the negativity just like that, because they know negativity sells. This is why Terrence Moore, this is why these guys like this is why you got Atlanta media. This is why they put all these negative articles and negative talking points about the Atlanta Falcons, because they know y'all gonna eat that shit up just like that.
It's facts.
So this is why we get a lot of flack over here, is because you don't hear, that's not where our talking points come from. Yes, we can be critical of players, but it's not because it's not just on a negative tip, but it's critiquing, it's criticism, it's critiquing. At the end of the day, we not for everybody. And if you ain't down with that, we got 2 words for you.
That case down.
That way. That way.
Everybody's going somewhere else then. Going somewhere else.
So
I thought he was going the DX route. That's where I thought.
I'm not gonna do the DX route. I'm not gonna tell y'all to suck it. Nah. I'm gonna be as nice and disrespectful at the same time. I should have said 3 words. I'm gonna change it to say, we got 3 words for you. Bitch, that way. There you go. That's a little bit better. That's what you want.
Hey man, it's going 2 hours, man. I need something to eat right about now. Because I'm looking at
right.
biscuits.
Let's go.
Let me.
Somebody said something about Popeyes, and I just thought.
Oh God. Hey, look, I'm about to say we definitely appreciate everybody tuning in to the Heavy Hitters, man. This has actually been one of the most elongated shows we done did on the Heavy Hitters.
Yeah, we have, man.
We did 2-hour shows this week.
Ooh, we back to the off season.
Oh bullshit, but we been told that.
We back to the off season doing 2-hour shows.
Oh hell nah, boy. We try to cut that, but like I said, but this is what we do over here, man. And once we have these conversations get long, and this is what we do. Y'all are literally seeing what we do off camera. This is how we go.
Be on the phone for 5 hours.
5 hours talking about absolutely everything. So, hey, oh yeah, y'all see, y'all hear that beat? But I want y'all to make sure y'all go ahead and tune into Fila Sports with Tyrone.
Yes, sir.
As soon as you get off of here,
it's over on. Look, if you're not on Fila, if you don't have the Fila page, it's on the network. So I know y'all follow. If y'all don't follow, if you follow Matt Mike's other channel, it's called the Network. It's gonna be on the network, but it is gonna be on Fila as well. Most of y'all subscribe to both, so hop on either one.
Right, and definitely do that. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Jew Talk Sports, the Minister. Are we closer to the 2K side, or we already over it?
We almost there. We're not there quite yet. We need about 70 more, but we almost there.
Okay, we need to get about 70 more y'all ass subscribe to get him to that 2K part. Subscribe to Mad Mike Sports, as y'all most likely all are, and as well as 6-Man K-Styles. But let me go ahead and highlight this comment. He said, you guys have to have thick skin to get facts to the face people on your channel. I love the tough love that you guys are giving the fans. They will thank you later. Hey, man. You got to give them the thumbs up on that one.
Absolutely.
So, as me and you are on the road to 2K, as we say here, man, we ain't here to play.
Hold on.
We here to stay.
Ooh, yeah.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you gotta get the hell out of here.
Deuces.
Please, man.
You like that goofy ass special baby cat on the foot like that.